All right, welcome to another great episode of Framing New Heights. I'm your host with the most. My name is Michael Hicks, and I am super excited about this journey today and this topic that I'm going to talk about. But before I get into the topic today, if you truly have been genuinely loving the podcast, we kindly ask that you hit the subscribe button. If you could, send it over to 5 other friends. We currently are streaming in 8 different continents, which is amazing, and thank you all for that. And kindly give us a review and be honest with us. We always are improving to become the best version of ourselves. So today's podcast, I really want to dive into developing that morning successful formula for you. And it's that button, you guys. It's that button in the morning that you are constantly pressing. It's that snooze button. So stop hitting that snooze button. Are you guilty of hitting the snooze button almost every single day? Guess what? Just as the saying goes, you snooze, you lose. And it's just it's more than just a saying. The issue often goes beyond waiting an extra 15 minutes of sleep. And it may be that you're unhappy with your current life situation. Am I right? Man, life just sucks. Or you're leading your subconscious into avoiding facing that particular day. And what you're doing is, by delaying the process of getting out of bed, you're basically saying this: you're rejecting your life. So why wake up to something that feels meaningless? Right? Is that how many of you are listening? You're like, oh my goodness, Michael, you're speaking to me. Raise your hand right now. Or in the comments, put hashtag yes. Because it affects and destroys these particular areas. And then on top of it, if you throw in a stressful morning, right? So how many of you are parents that are listening and you're getting your day together that day of? You got to do breakfast. You got to get the kids ready. You got to get ready. Everything's ready to go. Well, if you're doing everything that morning of, you're going to fail and you're going to be stressed. And now you started your day with a stressful morning. And a few suggestions for those of you that are listening is I will have everything prepared the night before. From my gym bag to my lunch, I basically got to grab my lunch and I put it in my lunch box. Same thing if I have my daughter that day. It's just a matter of getting everything ready. Everything's ready to go in the morning. The only thing I generally have to do in the morning is brush my teeth, say my I am statements, do some journaling, and then I can be out the door because I got everything ready to go. So really, if you guys are struggling with that stressful morning piece, let me help you with that. The time management piece is part of my Live to Thrive program that could be really genuinely successful for you. Now, I want to go back to the snoozing thing. It also disrupts the REM piece, you guys. And I talk about this in a recent podcast, so make sure you get a chance to listen to that, because what it does, you're going to end up having resentment. And resentment is a love killer. And this is for anyone that has maybe a partner that sleeps with them, right? The brain doesn't just shut off completely as we are sleeping. It's always scanning the environment for specific stimuli that's happening to make sure that we're safe. Now, what's interesting about this whole philosophy, that's why when we hear a fire alarm, what do? We wake up. Or maybe a nearby buzz on your phone. And I'm going to also tell you this, for a good quality rest, where's your phone at night? Are you laying in bed scrolling aimlessly and getting all that blue light rays in your face and then planning to have a good night's rest? And are you actually putting your phone maybe on the other side of the bedroom where you have to physically get up out of bed? And here's why you should not hit the snooze button, you guys. I'm going to break this down for you. if you're hitting the snooze button, I'm going to be very transparent. You have a sleep disorder. You 100% have a sleep disorder. Because you're either A, going to bed late, or you're actually waking up too early. And let me break this down a little bit for you. Okay? And this is just the simplest explanation that I came up with. And most likely a lot of us are going to be the culprit here. And your snooze, because your body wants to keep, when you hit the snooze button, your body wants to keep sleeping. There's a doctor that actually talked about this, and I'm going to break this down for you. Any number of factors that could lead to a person's being short on sleep. And here are some of the factors, like a new baby being born. So your sleep pattern is significantly poor. If you're like me right now, I'm dealing with this ailment of a back issue, and I literally am struggling with sleep. I have to sleep upright. It's still going on. Or maybe you're going to bed too late. And you're going to bed too late because you're self-soothing your favorite show. Oh, I just got to get this next show in. And then when the alarm hits in the morning, you're like, oh, I hate life. And those are some of the most practical reasons why you're hitting the snooze button. And here's the other thing, too. How many of you are arriving to your school or maybe your work on time? And how many actually do that? Or are you constantly late? Because that's another piece, too, that I can kind of hone in on here. Because if your nighttime routine goes too long, you'll significantly sacrifice sleep. And then what happens is in the morning, you feel the effects of just watching that one more episode on Netflix or racing through one more chapter and getting lost in the social media scroll, right? Or could you be that you're just used to sleeping later than when you're waking up? And maybe you got up in early morning and prompting a pre-sunset alarm. Do you know what I mean? Or maybe your Monday wake-up time of hours is earlier than you get out of bed during the weekend. So there's no continual pattern. So even on the weekends, you should have the same sleeping pattern. If you go to bed at a specific time, you should be waking up at a specific time as well. And that should be continuous. Weekends, it doesn't matter. Oh, I could sleep in longer. That doesn't hurt. That doesn't always work well for you guys. You know, you might just need more sleep than what you actually think you do. And if you're between the ages of 18 and 60, science tells us that we should get at least 7 hours of sleep each night, according to the experts, the gurus. Experts often talk about people needing 8 hours of shut-eye each night. But one of the biggest key factors here, on average, some people may need or may get possibly 6 or 7 hours. And some might even need 9 to feel refreshed. That's me. I'm raising my hand. That means it's important to understand your individual sleep needs and aim for the amount of sleep you need every single night. And let's be honest, you don't have to wake up because you are living someone else's life. And a lot of people don't want to wake up because they're living someone else's life. When are you going to be authentic to yourself? When are you going to stop lying to yourself? When are you actually going to become the best version of yourself? You know, even if you agree that changing your life seems impossible at this moment, you can simply do this simple trick that'll teach your brain that you must wake up before or with that first alarm. And the first piece I really want to hone in on today is set your intentions before you go to bed. You guys understand what I mean by intentions here? Think of several pleasant things you plan to do the next day. And what will happen is we'll usually wake up with the same thought we went to bed with. I always like to end my evenings before I go to bed. I always pray. I'm thankful. I have a gratitude prayer, and also I'll pray for other people, and also pray for myself if I'm in the pain that I've been with my back issue. So, however, please only dwell on your plans for a short time because you'll find it harder to fall asleep the longer you do it. Does that make sense? And I want to interrupt this podcast right now and bring to you our sponsor. Are you having difficulty sleeping? Aches and pains? In fact, I am taking this product right now. You got to check out Evergreen CBD oil. When you go to that website is www.evergreenvitamins.com. Click on the Pain Remedy Pain Extract CBD oil. And then at checkout, check this out. Put in the promo code New Heights and you can receive 30% off the retail cost. And this podcast was brought to you by Live to Thrive. High achievers, do you feel you are stuck or you need a life upgrade? Or just that needed push to transform your world? Well, with over 25 years of expertise, I offer Legacy Rediscovery Coaching. It's a unique evidence-based method to elevate your mind, your body, and your soul. Whether it's mastering self-discipline, redefining your fitness and nutrition, or embracing just a better mindset, we have the blueprint to create the success you need. So hire Live to Thrive today. And check this out, y'all. When you click on the link in the bio, enter in the term or the word thrive. That's THRIVE. And you'll receive, don't tell anybody, 30% off my Platinum Premium Package. You want a free whoop? Make sure you check out the link in the bio. Hey, as I get into step number 2, you guys, and I talked about this a little earlier, I want you to move your alarm far from your bed, right? It's far from your bed, and here's the best trick what you can do that you can really just hone in and play on yourself, because you must get up to turn off the alarm, right? And because it starts ringing far across the room, now you got to physically get up. How many of you have it on your nightstand? Get rid of that habit, because if you actually physically get up, you are more unlikely to return back to bed. And your energy has already started flowing throughout your body. This is a perfect way to begin your day. The next step, brush your teeth. When you can find one useful activity each day that requires mindful concentration, you could brush your teeth. You could stretch. You start making your morning bed. Because what it'll do is it'll give you time to wake up. And most importantly, don't pick up your phone and scroll through social media. Do not touch your phone for the first hour of the day. Don't allow any of that distraction from the outside world seep into you to start your day, because you're building the foundation for the day. Because what's going to happen is if you decide to go down that route, your brain gets agitated. And then what does that do? It leaves your body still asleep. The fourth concept I want to go into here, drink as much water as your body can take. Now, as I took a big drink of water, that's a gallon that I shoot for a day. And I call it Big Baby. And I carry it wherever I go. It's got a strap, but it goes wherever I go. The majority of what I drink, probably 95% of what I drink, is H2O. Water, 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 water. Again, water. Drink a glass of water at room temperature when you wake up in the morning. And not in one gulp, of course, but because what does water do for us? Water hydrates us, and the dehydration causes fatigues and headaches. I often tell my daughter about this. We talk so much about this. She's like, Dad, I got a headache. How much water did you drink? Dad, I drank so much water. Well, you didn't. You didn't, because if you're truly drinking water, you're not going to get a headache. Now, your eyes might be bad. You might have had a bad night's sleep. Those symptoms can creep in. I understand that. But moreover, water helps your stomach wake up. And then what it does is it jump starts your organs. And that has the potential to get your entire system up and running. All right? Water, water, water. As I do that, I'm going to take another drink. Here's the next step. You want a successful day? You want a successful morning? Do this the night before. Get your gym clothes out the night before. Lay them on the bed. That's what I do. And then the clothes that I want, I put them already in my gym bag that I want to wear for that day. Because here's the thing. If you can get your clothes out the night before, what it does, it particularly sets an image into your subconscious. And when you put on that sweatshirt or the sweatpants and you grab your running shoes, you might, I'm going to just get a workout in. And to maximize your full, true potential, you guys, the true meaning of potential, morning exercise, you guys, is crucial. Because here's what it does. It elevates your mental perspective. It elevates your physical perspective. And the biggest thing here is your emotional state. That's critical because then you set the tone for your day so you can conquer that day, seize that day. You know, it's so interesting. I'll talk to people on Monday through Friday. Most people are so much happier on a Friday than they are on a Monday. Because their emotional state and what they're feeding their subconscious, oh, it's Monday. Well, yeah, it's Monday. It should be a great day. It's a great day to start the week. Mondays are my favorite because that's a great way that I create momentum for myself to become the best version of myself. And it gives me another opportunity, obviously, to be on this planet that my gracious Creator gave me that opportunity to change people's lives. So, again, exercise, morning, get it done. It's crucial because it'll develop and open up your mental perspective. It'll help your physical perspective and also that emotional state, thus giving you that opportunity to seize and conquer your day. Hey, next I want to really transition into 5 things that you can really do to convince yourself to learn to be quiet and still. All right? And if you're taking notes, this is going to be some really good stuff here because I came up with this acronym. It's called SAVERS. SAVERS. And I'm going to break down each one of those letters for you and how you can implement this to create a successful, meaningful, purposeful life, okay? S stands for silence. How many of you can just be silent? Let me go back a little bit. Silence is not only the absence of sound. It also stands for the peace and tranquility of our mind. And how often do you wake up in the morning wrought up and angry, nervous, apprehensive, or maybe bitter or devastated? In one way or another, we can almost hear our thoughts screaming and wondering whether others can hear us as well. Have you ever been like that? Like, man, that was a crazy thought that I had. I hope no one heard me. Because here's what I really want you to hone in on here, y'all. Purposeful silence. And begin by 5-10 seconds. And what purposeful silence is, it's about quieting both your mind and your body. And this is the phase that you'll get to. And when you can truly do this, nothing will agitate you internally or externally. And there's so much scientific information about this, and all the gurus talk about this, but intentional silence becomes one of the most powerful methods to elevate any type of stress that you have. And what else silence does? It'll help you increase the awareness of your goals and priorities. Maybe for that day, maybe for that week, maybe the long-term goals. Let's start out with short-term goals, meaningful goals, SMART goals. Talked about that on a podcast. You know, as you will finally get the time to listen to yourself, because we are constantly bombarded by our social media presence, by other people filling our body, our ears rather, with other things that they want us to do. And we never truly have a time to listen to yourself. So I broke down some activities that you can really hone in on during that silent phase, okay? So take notes of this if you guys want to, because I think this will be really helpful for you. Because silence is truly one of the most underappreciated tools that we can have. But meditation, critical. Prayer, critical. Reflection. Now, not only are you thinking reflection, but also journaling as well. And I'm going to get into some of that as well. Deep breathing. I did an entire podcast with this on proper breathing techniques. There's so many gurus out there that have different processes on how to breathe. Check out, if you go through the 88 episodes that I have, but there's a podcast I go in on breathing and deep breathing, really accentuating, be involved in. In fact, after I get done working out, I really concentrate and hone in on my breathing exercises. And here's another way to really practice the silence phase, you guys, is practice gratitude. I know I say this a lot, but gratitude is critical. And I know I did a big thing, always a big thing in November about gratitude and being grateful. But you can incorporate that every single day. And that'll be a great way. Those simple 5-step, simple silent phases will help you hone in on listening to yourself. I want to get into the next letter. It's A. Anybody have a guess on what the A stands for? Remember, we're in the acronym SAVERS and how it's going to benefit you and change your life here. But A is for affirmations. You know, popular culture downplays affirmations, but however, they really help you persuade you into the person you desire. Every morning I have a particular set of affirmations. Affirmations are I am statements that I believe, that I visualize, and I say them every single day, because the words that we put into our subconscious, eventually they're going to believe it. Because let's be honest, when we were growing up, our parents, and maybe parents, you can admit to this, sometimes our parents don't tell us the words we need to hear the most. So as such, we grow up feeling insecure. We grow up feeling vulnerable. So if you begin your mornings, for example, by just repeating I am strong to yourself, guess what's going to do? It's going to help you build the confidence you lack as soon as you start believing what you say. Now, here's the magic behind it. When that actually unfolds or happens, you begin to act upon this learned truth, thus making it more solid, more solidified, more internally invested. Your subconscious knows now. You know, and then staying silent when you're using these affirmations are a great technique as well. So you're kind of saying them to yourself internally. You can use either of them or both, but obviously don't do them at the same time. Let me break it down for you. First, calm down until you can hear your true self again. And then go to the mirror and say these words to transform you. Then visualize it. Then add exercise, which will help you find and manifest that miracle that you have that is present. And here's how you guys can do this. Visualization is absolutely powerful. It's a creative tool. It works. It works. There's only one thing on my vision board right now which I have not accomplished, but it's going to happen. I have it written down every single day, and I see it every single day because it helps our future. And many of us live in that past, right? You're constantly checking that rearview mirror. Don't live with regret of the choices we did, because that's how we learn. Because when we continually to pick that argument, it hurts us internally. So visualize what you want. And you really need your imagination here to focus on the future you want to have, you guys. Because imagine all the things, imagine all the people, imagine all the events you wish to see. And visualization is an excellent place not to be shy. And I want you to really dream big. Because anything you see in your mind's eyes is possible, y'all. It is. I've seen it. It's happened to me. It happens to my clients that I work with. I want to give you some advice on how to actually implement this and get started with a successful morning that will build the success you want. Number one, get ready. Let's get ready. Choose a place in your home other than your bedroom, because bedroom is for two things, you guys. I'm going to tell you right now. It's for sleep and it's for sex. It's not for reading. It's not for watching TV. If you are doing those two things, you failed yourself significantly. So I'm going to tell you that. The two S's that you need to know right now for the bedroom, sleep, and sex. I think I've said that in a few other episodes as well. But if your apartment is small and the bedroom is all you have, ensure you don't sit on your bed. Whatever you do, don't. Because I just alluded to what the bed is for. It's for the two S's. And its function is to make you fall asleep, which is not the goal here. Okay? So sit up with your back straight in a comfortable position and then close your eyes. Take a deep breath and prepare yourself. That's a great way to get started. And number 2, visualize what you desire. How do I do that, Michael? I'm going to tell you. Imagine something you want so badly. If there are several things, choose the most appealing one first. Because otherwise what happens is your attention will kind of dissipate and you're going to go everywhere. You're not going to hone in on that one thing. So concentrate on that one thing. And then begin to know as much about it as possible. Touch it. Smell it. Taste it. And then on top of that, how does it feel? What does it smell like? What does it taste like? Here's the next step. Step 3. Envision the person you want to be and the changes you need to undergo to become that. This piece is so meaningful. And if this is an event you are thinking about, begin to put yourself actually in that picture. See yourself doing those daily routines and enjoying the process. I'll give you a quick story here. In the process of closing in on a new house, and I visualize my daughter and I in the entertainment room. I visualize working out. I visualize waking up in the morning with that sunlight that's right in the beautiful dining room area. And what this will do, you see yourself doing these daily routines and enjoying the process. This practice then will link your desired future goals. It'll gain the reality of the present, and then it'll anchor it in the here and now. So imagine, your imagination is powerful, and it's one of the most underrated superpowers you'll ever have if you know how to leverage it correctly. A lot of you do not know how to do that. That's where my Live to Thrive program comes in. In fact, check out www.livetothrive.com. Here's the other piece, the E. Let's describe exercise. Exercise. Morning exercise should be regular in your daily rituals. Regular exercise will benefit your strength, it'll benefit your health, and it'll make you feel better about yourself and improving that self-confidence that you desire. I'm not a morning person, Michael. I had clients that were not morning people. Do you think their fitness improved? Did it stay stagnant? Did it change? You know, we believe that the less we move, the more energy we save. That's not how it works, y'all. Because when we use our power to exercise even for 1 minute, you'll have blood rushing through your body, filling the cells with oxygen. Okay? Now, did you know this? Check this out. Now, depending on your preferences, you can either do stretching, which I'll probably do after I get done off this podcast here today, cardio, yoga, and you can do other things as well. But the important thing is enjoy what you do. And luckily, you've got options. And when you can transform into the importance of reading, and then you use that applied knowledge to conquer self-discipline, man, you're going to be a brand new person. You know, in the education system, when I was in the education system, there's a lot about reading daily. And I excitedly, you need to read daily. Whether you read fiction, nonfiction books, but When you convey the human experience differently, reading really allows you to learn from others without needing to live through unpleasant situations yourself, right? There's so many great books that I've read in the last year or so that they had some really unpleasant situations, but Victor Vankov, I think his name was, and he was in prison camp. I distinctively remember this, but a lot of the strategies that he brought out, he did when he was in a concentration camp. And if he can do it then and become the successful man that he was after that, because here's the thing, studies suggest that you should read 15 to 30 minutes every single day. And now if you read fast, take 10 to 15 minutes, okay? This time doesn't have to be in the morning, especially if you combine the practices. Concerning pages, aim to read at least 5 to 10 pages every single day. Because what does reading do? Reading should always have a purpose other than just the sake of reading. Don't just read for the sake of reading. Before starting a new book, anticipate what you expect to gain from it. And then kind of write that down in your journal. Because it'll help you choose books you want to read instead of the books you are supposed to read. That's the key piece there. Y'all, life's too short to be reading something y'all hate. And I want to go into the last S for savers. You guys still with me on this? Right? The last S. Anybody have a guess on what that is? S is scribing. All right? S stands for scribing. And scribing comes from the Latin term, which means the act of writing. The first thing when clients come to me, the first thing I tell them to invest in a journal. Because there are at least 2 evidence-based techniques that you want to do to be successful. The first is automatically writing whatever comes to your mind without you actually thinking about it. Just jot it down, write it, no filters, no restrictions, just go. And don't stop yourself, just let it flow. And you don't have to read what you wrote right away. So begin to maybe set a limit of much scribing that you should do or journaling. Okay, it can be, like let's say, just do a page of dense text for maybe 15, 20 minutes and set a timer. The second one will require you to pluck your thoughts and ideas and begin to sense them in writing. Okay, now don't worry if it's not beautiful, if it's grammatically errors. I'm full of that all the time. It's okay. The most important part is to materialize whatever is going on in your head and then document those ideas, because what they'll do is they'll become breakthroughs and they'll become insights. And this simple technique will help you realize what has really been bothering you for a long time. And here are some more tips to help you really get started in that process, you guys. Number 1, choose a format. Do you want to do it digitally? Or do you want to do it traditionally? In my experience, the old something about a pen and a pencil and writing it on a piece of paper really hones into that subconscious brain though. But if you feel that you need to do it digitally, go ahead. Because some people maybe type faster than they write. However, writing really, like I said, connects us with what we write. Whereas just typing it on a computer is kind of like mediated and an indirect experience, I guess, so to say. And the next one, get a journal. Use a journal. And if you're still reading or you're still writing, the intentions are pretty serious. So choose a journal that will be good for you for at least a year or maybe for the rest of your life. Okay? Now, make sure that you have a place to comfortably store that journal so that people can live with the don'ts and the do's of that direct access to it. The journal purpose in itself will provide a space of honesty. It will provide vulnerability, which I preach to men. And it also give you a safe space to write. So when you're writing, really find that specific safe place. And then write a topic. Pick a topic, write about it. The variety of journals you can compile is absolutely endless. You can write about anything from your dreams to the food you ate every day. And all you need, you guys, here it is. Get ready. Here's a magical number. All you need is 6 minutes of journaling each day to foster that. And it's very humane to, we all want to make excuses, right? We don't feel like doing something. Yet sometimes we generally don't have time. How? 15 minutes for self-development and growth. And even in most cases, we often even skip the morning routine. And I want to just pivot here and say being regular about this is vital here. So instead of 15 minutes, just take 6 minutes to improve your life. And here's what you can do for those 6 minutes. The first minute, excuse me. The first minute, you guys ready? You need to see yourself waking up happy and relaxed every morning. Visualize that, see that, write it down. And then consider thinking about the things you are grateful for. You can use the time to rest your mind before starting the day. Perhaps you can do this through meditation, which I alluded to earlier in the podcast here. Because when you begin to be still, it will ground you. And when you're grounded, inner peace seeps in. And that becomes part of your inner world. Here's minute 2. Resort to your affirmations. Read them aloud. Concentrate on the ones that really resonate with you the most. And express reading, because when you read it, it'll raise your internal motivation. Remember, you have taught yourself to be smart, successful, attractive, beautiful, and I can go on and on. Now, you act on it. Minute 3. Get that vision board out. Visualize the day you want in your head. Think about the day you already started living, and then imagine it going well and enjoyable. Begin to sense and feel as many things are super possible. I'm telling you, it works. I wouldn't be having this podcast. I wouldn't have my business if I wouldn't be telling you this as a life coach, as a life strategist. This stuff works. A lot of people don't know how to do it. They don't know how to stay consistent. That's why I'm here. Because the closer your visualization is, the closer your reality becomes. And then the big key here, then, the smoother your day goes. Here's minute 4. Note down everything you are thankful for. This is a beautiful thing to do. Write down what you want to finish before the day ends. Set a goal and know precisely how to work towards achieving that goal. All right? Minute 5. Now this time has to come to turn to like the self-help book side, okay? Begin to think about how it relates to the new day of your life, or how you can use what you learned that particular day. Got me so far? Here's minute 6 of journaling. Stand up and exercise just for 60 seconds. Whether that's running, maybe you put on a favorite song that you like, jump around the room, and maybe you just train your abs or triceps. Just giving you a suggestion here. Because your heart needs to be active and ready to give you the energy you need throughout the day. And this way, your attention and productivity, y'all, will skyrocket. Recently was having a conversation. Someone was like, I don't know how I just get home and I'm just so tired. Well, do you work out? I don't have time. You don't have time. When you're that person right now and you're listening to this podcast, if you don't have time, get on a call with me. I'm going to find 2 hours to get back into your day every single day so you can live your best, fulfilling, purposeful life. I'll break it down for you. Because we say we don't have time. We're just too busy being busy, y'all. And when you can start with 6 minutes of your life, it may seem like it's not enough to really transform your life, but if you stay consistent, it's the old analogy, KISS, right? Keep it short and simple. Something this simple is more powerful than anything you can imagine. Because not only do you manage to do the little things, and I had a podcast entirely on this, do the little things to create big things, because what it does, it's going to develop, you guys, your physical, mental, and spiritual aspects of your life. It's going to awaken it. You're going to feel like a brand new person. And now remember here, Enjoy what you do. To be grateful for the ability that you do. And as I wrap up on this podcast today, and thank you so much for y'all for listening. I can sincerely mean that and appreciate all the love and support that we have from y'all. Morning is the most crucial part of the day because that is when we start something anew. Something fresh from a good night's sleep. And we still have both our conscious and our subconscious psychological layers actively working. That's why my program helps you become the best version of yourself. Because when we can get those subconscious working, things we fear, loathe, or even feel itchy about might become more apparent. It may build meaningful transformations for tools for you then to eliminate the unneeded things that are in your life. Because many of us are reluctant to get up after the alarm clock goes out. Because we don't like how our lives are turning out. No wonder we don't rush into the hell we try to avoid in the comfort of our beds, right? Oh, it's so cozy here. I used to have a friend that would say, you still were asleep and weren't thinking of blueberry muffins while I was at the gym. And for this reason, we should be compelled to list 6 activities you can do daily to combat your insecurities and possibly relieve some of your pain. Start small. Maybe it's 1 activity a day. And then escalate by combining maybe 2 or 3. It's called scaffolding. And then you can meditate by practicing silence. Write down your thoughts and your ideas in a journal. And then finally go for a short walk, short run. Maybe dance in the kitchen. Because when we begin these simple rituals every morning for 1 month, and I'm telling you guys, for 1 month, I promise you'll see life-changing experiences. A life-changing experience for a better you, a now you. The one that you want to become your ideal best self. Your self-awareness and your self-confidence will grow because you control and guide yourself throughout your life. Now you understand the responsibility is all up to you. You dictate what you do for your life now. Your life is your creation. You are writing your book. You are writing your chapters. As I get off the podcast today, here's a simple challenge I have for you. It's a 5-step snooze-proof wake-up strategy. So for those of you that were stumbled on this podcast and you were hit the snooze button, here you go. Number 1, decide what you want to do the next day before you go to bed. Number 2, don't leave your alarm clock near the bed because movement will help you wake up in the morning. Number 3, remember your hygiene. Brush your teeth, wash your face. Number 4, drink water as much as possible in the morning. And number 5, put your gym clothes on. Well, that concludes another great episode of Framing New Heights. Thank you all for participating and listening. Again, if you found this likable, please share it with 5 of your friends. We truly significantly appreciate your value and support on this podcast. As always, 1% better in mind, body, and soul. And always, stay flexed.